Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Chris.
And Ralph.
And tonight we're going to be doing what, Ralphie?
The Last of Us Episode 3 review.
Yes, sir. So, The Last of Us came out on Sunday, and we are now getting a chance to do our review for that episode. Alright, Ralphie. So this episode, to say the least, was emotional.
Yeah, right? I kind of cried then.
Yeah, and I cried as well because this episode was amazing.
Yeah.
So it focuses on Bill and Frank. But before we get into Bill and Frank, the show starts off with Joel and Ellie. And basically we catch up with Joel and Ellie from after what happened to Tess back in the city of Boston. And basically we see Joel, he's upset, obviously. And we see Ellie there, and she's upset because she feels that Joel is blaming her for Tess's death. And we see this great exchange between Ellie and Joel where Ellie's like, don't blame me for Tess's death. This is y'all's decision to take me out here. And he understood where she was coming from. So I think that kind of earned some of his respect. And she's 14 years old, a little girl compared to him. So, he resents her because of what happened to Tess. And, it's a whole dynamic. And then we just see them walking and looting throughout, this path. And they're trying to get to Bill and Frank's. All right, Ralphie. So we get introduced to Bill.
Yeah.
So what was your first impression of Bill?
So yeah, for me, for me, since I haven't know about the character since I got a chance to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
But what I saw though, it was very emotional.
Yeah. So Bill, when we meet him, he's a prepper. So someone who buys who has a lot of supplies. Guns,
electrical
stuff, electrical, just things to survive.
Yeah.
So we see that he was prepared for this apocalypse. He was prepared for this outbreak, right?
Yeah.
So we see him, Bill, the town that he lives in, the house that he lives in. Everyone in the town was escorted out by Fedra.
Yeah, but
except for him.
Yeah, because after everyone else evacuated, he rather stay here to barricade everything.
Yeah, he has a place under the basement, so that's why they didn't know where he was at. But we just see him prepping. We see him building a fence. He goes to Home Depot. He goes and he gets supplies. He turns on the water. He turns on the power at the plant. He knows what he's doing. So Bill is fine. He's going to survive. So we cut to him prepping and making the fence. 4 years have passed.
Yeah.
So now it's 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah. You weren't born in this timeline, Ralphie. You were born in 2006. This is 2007, Ralphie. You're not born. I'm born. I'm a kid. I don't know if I want to be in this world as a kid.
Me either.
But it is what it is. And he ends up meeting Bill.
Yeah.
No, Frank. I said it, my bad.
So yeah. And also this one changes for the Frank character. In the game, they only just mention him.
Yeah, in the game, it's just a note that you read from Frank.
Yeah.
There's nothing else added to the story in terms of the Last of Us video game.
Yeah. But this time in this episode, they made him and the character for the episode.
Yeah, they expanded their story and they gave him an actual backstory. So he falls into this hole. Bill goes and gets him, brings him inside, gives him clothes and food, and then they make love because they like each other. And then it turns out that Frank is going to be staying there longer than anticipated by Bill when he first met him. So it turns out that they become a couple. It goes from 2007, and then it cuts to, I believe, 3 years. So now it's 2010.
2010.
So we're seeing an Up-esque type of story of where we see this couple meet for the first time, have their first argument in 2010, arguing about how Frank just wants to just paint the house and cut the lawn because that's his home too. And then he starts telling Bill, like, hey, I made friends on the radio and they're coming over to eat dinner with us. Bye.
And Bill was like, what?
And who turns out to be those friends?
Joel and Tess.
Yeah, so we see a younger Joel and we see a younger Tess. And we see the beginning of a beautiful friendship between these four people. Well, not exactly. Yeah. Because Bill and Joel do not like each other. They hate each other, but they tolerate each other and they respect each other.
Yeah.
And we just basically see that friendship develop of trading goods and services. And because what else can you do? You can't give money because it's a post-apocalyptic. Oh gosh, I had trouble saying that. Money doesn't matter. It's just supplies and food and medicine and things like that.
Yeah.
All right, Ralph. So now, to progress throughout the rest of the episode, we see 2013. They get raided by people, and Bill gets shot. Remember?
Yeah.
He gets shot, and then it looks like he's gonna die, but he doesn't die. And now we cut 10 years. So there's a lot of time jump in this episode.
Yeah.
I like it. So now it's 2023, our present time. We see Bill and Frank are a lot older, but Frank is sick, really sick. He's in a wheelchair. He can't even walk. And what we see is this beautiful relationship that developed over the course of 2007 to 2023, 16 years of a relationship and being with each other every single day, barely seeing anybody besides Tess and Joel to our knowledge. And we see, oh my God, this is super emotional.
Yeah,
we see emotional. That Frank is basically tells Bill, I've had a beautiful life with you, but I want you to give me one more good day, give me these pills, and I'm going to die in your arms, essentially. And the next, 5 minutes is just pure music, melody, and just a couple reminiscing on each other's love. They end up eating dinner together, which was the first dinner. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
The first dinner they ever had with each other was the last dinner that they had with each other, the food. And it turns out that if Frank's going, Bill's going too. So Bill took the pills as well, and they died together. And that's some Romeo and Juliet stuff right there. That's super emotional. I was tears right here.
Yeah, me too.
I was emotional. And I think The Last of Us has made me cry 3 weeks in a row. And that's rare for a show to do that.
Yeah.
So this show is special. And the ratings keep going up. From what I saw today in a report, an official report, that it's up 37% from last week. So every week the ratings keep going up. So that's amazing. And then we just see Joel and Ellie show up to the house. I want to say maybe a month, not even a month, maybe a few weeks after they died. And, Bill leaves them a note, take supplies, save Tess, but Tess, obviously, she's no longer with us. Joel makes a battery. Ellie finds a gun and hides it from him.
Yeah.
They take the truck from Joel's actual mouth, a piece of shit Chevy S10, because Ellie thinks it's a spaceship because she's never been in a vehicle. And yeah, they go on. We go on to the next adventure, which is going to be next week, episode 4. All right, Rafi. Now that I went through a quick breakdown, what are some of your thoughts about this episode?
Like, for me, though, I do think this is a very emotional story I ever seen.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
On either film or TV series.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's a really good episode. It's really, and we keep saying emotional because it was emotional.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful story.
Yeah, plus, in the final moment with those two together, I basically teared up a bit.
Yeah. It's a tough because we see two people that love each other.
Yeah.
That lived a life together, which is the opposite of what happens in most apocalyptic shows, because we see Joel, who sadly lost his life. Not lost his life, but he lost his daughter. So basically, he lost his life during as the apocalypse happened. And for Bill and Frank, it's the opposite. They found each other and they had a beautiful life. But yeah, Ralph, that's basically everything I have to add to it. You have to add anything else?
Let's see. I'm gonna give this episode maybe an 8 or a 9 out of 10.
8 or a 9. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Because I think it's an incredible episode, and I respect your rating as well. A 9 is right there as well. 8 to 9, which is right there as well. All right, guys, that's our quick review for The Last of Us episode 3. What were your thoughts? Some things that what hit you in this episode? We want to hear them down below. All right, guys, but as always, please like, share, and subscribe. I am Chris.
And Ralph.
And we will catch y'all next time.
Peace.